Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video I'll be revealing all the terrain that I built for my Warhammer 40,000 tournament. This is all custom terrain built for the new 10th edition rules. If you've been following along with the series, you would have seen this right from the beginning as I pieced together all the terrain, and in the end I ended up making 12 complete full sets, and here you can see them all on the tables at my tournament in Liskeard, Cornwall, and I run these every 6 weeks now, so it's awesome. They're going to be Age of Sigmar and 40k. But in this video, I'll be talking about some of the decisions I made when I built the terrain, and I'll be showing you each one of the different sets. So let's get started, and we'll begin with the Mountain Fortress set. And here you can see I've chosen the green grass mat, which suits it really well. This mat is from Deep Cut Studios, and it just suits it so well. Really works with a little bit of green that I've dotted around on the terrain pieces. And I chose to go with the red Baron of Dice objective markers so they stand out. And that's a really nice contrast with the green and the red. All the bases are the same size, but I've themed the tables differently. So you can see here we've got the same size terrain pieces, but now we're going with more of a frosty look and the blue Baron of Dice objective markers. So I've just added a few frozen rocks, almost like crystallized rocks in there, and just given them a very simple wash of blue, very pale blue, and that'll just work really nicely. And when you see that on the table against the objective markers, that blue just comes out a little bit, but used a white highlight over the top, and then that made it really frosty with the white mat. Then I went for more of an orc look, and this one was a bit of an experiment. So again, all the bases are the same size on every single table, and I've tried to get the height the same. On the bottom levels, decided to go without any windows, so you can't see through that at all. So that's going to help with the towering rules and block the line of sight. And on this table, it was a good choice, I think, to go with the red Baron of Dice objective markers again. I've made sure the terrain pieces have all got different levels. There's some rocks in there just to mix it up a bit and give it a bit of variety. And I might go back to this one and just add a little bit more colour and maybe a few more decorations later on. I made some different city terrain, so I went for different size and shape windows. On this one, it's predominantly the rectangular windows. I also made some arched ones and then laid it out as per the Games Workshop guidelines. And again, they're guidelines. It doesn't have to be exact, but it was a really useful pack to follow. So if you're interested in having a look at that pack, then I've covered it in previous videos as well. And then I've gone for a desert look again with the city. This time I've done kind of churchy cathedral windows, a bit more gothic, so they got the point at the top and a completely different colour. This was with the garage floor paint, the red tile look, and then by the time I went over that with a peach highlight, I think it came out really nicely, and this really broke up the whole look of the tournament, so it wasn't all completely grey. And then I went for the pink Baron of Dice objective markers this time, which I think worked really nicely with those, and then with the mats. And this mat is the Xenos mat, again from Deep Cut Studios. Now we're on to another cityscape. This one is the gridded mat, and this is by P-Works. This is an awesome mat. Massive thanks to them for donating this for the tournament. And here you can see the windows with the rectangles, and then as we get to the bigger pieces, we've got the arches in there as well. So the arch windows are nice. I think it adds a bit more light to the table. You can see through it. But again, all on the bottom levels, they're going to not be able to see through that. So it's solid brick walls. But I really like this mat. It's going to be perfect for Necromunda as well. But just to have a grid for the city, I think was a really nice touch. It helps when laying it out for a tournament, but here with this setup, this is more for a narrative game, and it's really great because you could use all this terrain together to create some nice scenic cities, and this is exactly what I've done on another table, just to give you a good example. Put a bunch of the sets together, 2 or 3 together, and then really filled up a map, so you've got all the streets to negotiate. I think this would be an awesome setup to do for a narrative game. And then you can see you've got all the streets, all the firing arcs. So yeah, this would be great. It'd be cool to put together a little scenario to play through. I think that'd be really good fun. I'll be using this in my game as well, my zombie game, when it comes out, Population Z, and also for some other photo opportunities for other games too. So it's certainly not just going to be for Warhammer 40,000. I think you could use this in Age of Sigmar as well. I mean, why not go for a city, especially with the Gothic windows? That would work well, I think. But I just love all the different angles you can get. You can get shots through the window. And when you've got great models like the ones here that some of the lads from the tournament stay behind to let me use in the photos, So big thanks to them for helping with that. So that was awesome. But yeah, I think once people come to a tournament and then they've painted their models, I think it's really cool to have some effort put into the terrain as well. Get it all painted up, make it thematic, and then it really shows off the models well. The models are the most important thing at the end of the day, but if you can get terrain that functions, plays well into the rules, and looks good as a backdrop, then I think you've got a good recipe there, and it's great fun to play on. Here's a little look at the event itself. So these are run at the Public Hall in Liskeard, Cornwall. It's such a great venue. I really love it there. You've got loads of open space to get loads of tables in, lots of players, and the reception itself is nice as you go in. It looks really cool. So as you enter the room, you can see all the tables laid out. And one thing I was concerned about was the terrain looking monotonous, and that's why I think it was good to break up the different colour, add some themed sets in there, and then when it's all laid out, it doesn't all look exactly the same on every table. And one of my plans going forward is to make more of the themed sets, like more of the mountains and orcs, and try and do different things for different factions as well. And I could even use some of these terrain sets and add things to it. So I could put little posters on there, like propaganda posters. That'd be really fun. Or I could add some of the different Tyrannid pieces. So you've got those big spikes coming out the ground. That would look awesome. And at this event, there was 24 tables. The idea is to get these events up to about 40, 44 players, and then we can really get the room full, make use of that great stage. So we'll have the top 3 tables playing on the stage as well, which would be really cool. And then the rest of the tables laid out, and then build that terrain up as we go through it. And if you've been following along with what I've been up to recently, you would have seen the Age of Sigmar terrain, which is totally different to this, a lot more organic. We've got rocks, we've got the rock golem set, so I'll be bringing more terrain for those tournaments as well. So every week now I'll just be building more terrain. That's going to be one of the major things I'll be working on. And if that's something you're interested in seeing, let me know in the comments down below. Anything in particular you want to see, I can certainly include that in the videos. And I'll be making lots for Moonstone as well, not just for Warhammer 40,000 Age of Sigmar. And Necromunda, can't wait for that. That's going to be really fun. I love the whole Necromunda game and the narrative behind it. So I think that's going to be really fun to build terrain for that. But yeah, it's good to have the science fiction side and the fantasy with all these different big games and the skirmish games as well. I'm really looking forward to making that a big feature of the channel going forward. But I've got to say, tournaments are great fun. I really enjoy just running them rather than actually playing in them. I think it's really fun to do all the build-up, get things made, provide some great trophies and things, and just see what everyone's up to in the hobby. Check out all their awesome armies. Here's some of the heroes that were entered into the painting competition. There were some fantastic ones there, and here's the lineup of the trophies that everyone could win on the day. And of course we had to include that golden spoon in there. Unfortunately there's always a golden spoon winner, but you know, it's fun, isn't it? So that's what it's all about. And then big thanks to the Little Shop DVD and Games in Liskeard for providing vouchers to all the winners, except for the spoon. They just get the spoon. And also a massive thank you to War Factor EU, who donated these awesome thunder trays, which are going to be great. Everybody who came along got a gift of these. So that's a really cool gift for everybody to receive. A massive thank you to Deep Cut Studios, who sent us out a mat to use for the day, and these will be used in all the events going forward. And thank you to P-Works for sending out their mat as well. This is awesome. This is going to be used not only in the tournaments, but in my Necromunda series. So you'll be seeing a lot of this one. I think it's fantastic. And of course, a massive thank you to Baron of Dice for these objective markers. These are so good. Really great quality. If you want to find out more about Baron of Dice, I've covered them already here on the channel. I'll link to it at the end of this video. At all the events, I also make sure there's some great snacks and food available. Who doesn't like a chocolate brownie? And we also give 10% to the Royal British Legion, which is awesome. And then I'd make all the lunches as well. Make sure everyone's got their battle-ready lunch so they're fueled up and ready to go. A massive thank you to all my sponsors and supporters for helping me keep going with these regular videos. Hope you've been enjoying the Moonstone series lately. There's lots more to come on that. But for now, thanks so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you've enjoyed having a little look behind the scenes to see how I put together all this terrain for my 40k tournaments and Age of Sigmar too. So thanks again. If you liked the video, it'd be great if you hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I look forward to seeing you here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters for helping me to keep going with these regular videos. I couldn't do this without you, and I appreciate your support so much. If you'd like to join the Patreon community, support the channel, get some great perks at the same time, there's a link down below in the description. It'll be awesome to see you there.